Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to introduce for the first time a band that I've never talked before. I'm going to talk about Melvins. Some might say the Melvins. Some might also say the Melvins. But I think for continuity purposes, is that the right word? Continuity? I think it is. I'll try to be consistent and just call them Melvins without the superfluous definite article the. All right, so today I'm going to talk about Melvins. The album is called Houdini, and I've got it right here in front of me. I've also got it right here on me. I've got the Melvins Poser Starter Kit. Now, the reason I say Poser Starter Kit because I really don't know anything about Melvins, despite the fact that I have a t-shirt and a record, which I'm going to talk about. I'm really quite new to Melvins. I mean, I've known they've been around since, when did they start? 83, 84, 85, around there. I've known about them for many, many years. But they were one of these bands that, and I guess everybody has a band or possibly bands like this that you just kind of miss them. You're aware of them, and you maybe know some of their songs. You can recognize them. You maybe recognize the album covers, the band member names kind of, but you don't really know them. That's me with Melvins. So I remember Melvins going back to, I don't know when, but just never got into them. And I knew some of their music, and to be honest, I just didn't like it. But something, hopefully with everybody over the years, your taste changed. Tastes are always kind of evolving. They don't have to change, but often they do. Hopefully they do. And this is a band that, I guess starting in around 2013 or 2014, when I kind of discovered, I don't know what you would call it, this kind of doom metal, sludge metal, fuzz, I don't know what you call it, but this slower, heavier, which I would say the Melvins are, or is the Melvins is a band like this. And so in more recent years, I've kind of discovered Melvins through some of these other bands I've liked, and man, they're really good. I really, really like Melvins now. And I don't know what I was missing all those years earlier. I was into different kind of music in the 90s than I am now. And sometimes you just need the right time and conditions in your life to like something, or sometimes you have something blocking you from liking something because there's something not happening, but there's something that, it just doesn't click for you. And then some years later, you end up liking it, or maybe you don't like it. And I do like Melvins a lot. They're one of the bands that I really wish, and there are other ones. Who is like this? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but bands that you kind of wish you were into and you want to be into, and you're just not. Well, I hope to rectify that with the Melvins starting today. I have downloaded some of their stuff in the last few years by full albums. I think I only have Houdini, and I have a few tracks that I've downloaded here and there. Maybe one of the greatest songs that I've heard in the last 10 years. Well, I've probably heard it less than that, although the album came out in the 90s, was Boris, which was from what was that album called? Bullhead, I think. I think it was the first song. It's like 8.5 minutes. It's the slowest, most repetitive, droning song I've ever heard, but I love it. And so I've got Houdini. I know Blood Witch from A Senile Animal. And oh, by the way, I should say the reason why I'm doing this today, I got this months and months and months ago, a long time ago, when I still used to buy stuff on Amazon. And so it's been sitting here for a long time. The reason I wanted to do it today is because I've put it off for a couple of weeks because they have a new album out called Tarantula Heart, which I downloaded when it came out a couple of weeks. So I haven't listened to it yet, but I thought this is a sign for me to talk about just Melvins. It's a sign for me to talk about Melvins. And I can't believe this new one, Tarantula Heart, which I'm not going to talk about today because I haven't heard it. It's their 27th album. I don't know if there's a band. I don't know if about a major band. I guess you could say the Melvins is a major band. Who's as prolific as Melvins? 27 albums. That's incredible. And I guess they also have some, some EPs and some things like that. And just incredible. And I there's no way I can get into all 27 Melvins albums. But I wanted to, and the reason I bought Houdini, to be honest, was just because it was cheap. It was, I thought, I want to buy a Melvins album. And I did know the first song, Hooch. I've known that for quite a few years. I thought, I love that song. So if I'm going to buy a record, It'll be one that at least I know one song off, and Houdini was cheap. This was reissued some years ago on Ipecac, which is Mike, I was going to say Mike Tyson, Mike Patton's label. I think. Was it Ipecac or what is Jack White's label? I can't remember. One of those anyway. And what a weird band Melvins is. That, as I mentioned, that was, I think, why I couldn't get into them years ago. I just thought they were too kind of weird, and maybe I didn't appreciate them. Buzz Osborne kind of scared me a little bit. I think that also had an effect on me. The band name Melvins, what kind of a name is that? It's just, and I was a metalhead, and so I almost did it again. Melvins, and this guy with the weird hair and everything like that, and it just didn't really do it for me. Now it really does it for me. So please feel free. I fully admit I'm a total Melvins poser. Feel free to call me out on that. I'm not embarrassed by that at all. I'm new. I'm 54 years old. I'm a new Melvins fan. If I make any mistake, if I'm omitting any, obvious things that any Melvins fans know, please feel free to bring it to my attention in any way that you see fit. I think, and I've never seen them live. I would love to see Melvins live. Another thing I should mention that kind of got me into Melvins maybe about a year ago, maybe less than that, was Buzz Osborne, King Buzzo. He did one of these things, Gibson Guitar, or the Gibson Guitar Company, Gibson TV. They do these videos. I think they're Icons. I think that's what it was. No, this was something different. They did that with Jerry Cantrell and Dave Mustaine. That's where they sit down with the musician and they talk to them. This one that I saw, Buzz Osborne, it was just him showing how to play the riffs. A lot of great Melvins riffs. And I watched that, like I said, maybe less than a year ago, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought, this is going to help me to get into Melvins. So, and I would love to see them play in Mexico. Maybe, again, with the poser stuff, maybe more than anybody, any band, I would love to see no, there are a few more than that. I would love to see Melvins come to Mexico. I think they have never, ever played in Mexico City. It's high time that they arrive in Mexico City. So I'm gonna open this up now. Here it is. Now, because I am largely unfamiliar with them, I do have to go to the notes. And by the way, if anybody, and I know there's not a lot of people that watch these, and there's maybe even fewer repeat viewers, except for Mike Pratt, Dallas, Kirk, Mr. Randy, Blue Flyer, Ernesto White. Who else am I missing? I'm trying to get everybody's names right to be friendly and engaging. That's my. Maybe I'm being too transparent about that. Do you like it better when I use the notes, or don't use the notes? I kind of like using the notes. It makes it easier for me instead of trying to remember what I have to say. Although typically, if I don't use notes, it's because it's an album that I'm familiar with. But I do. It is Third Man Records. It's not Ipecac. It is Third Man, which is Jack White's label. So this came out originally in 1993, and it was reissued in 2015. Atlanta Recordings, I guess, originally. This was by Rhino. God, there's so many labels here. Atlantic, Rhino, Warner Music, and Third Man Records. I don't know how that works. And there's what they look like. That's what Melvins look like. And I think there was the drummer was called Dale. I think he was just singularly named, similar to Cher. And Madonna, Dale was the drummer. The bassist, was her name Thorax or Lorax or Botox or Clorox or Kotex or something like that? I think she didn't play on this record, but she's credited. I think Buzz played bass on this record. And I should add, I know Kurt Cobain had something to do with this record. I don't think he produced it. There's no production credit on it, but I know he had something to do with this record. Not sure what. Maybe he did produce it. Maybe when I open it, I'll see. And because I don't know this is the first Melvins purchase I've ever made, so I don't know what to expect when I open this. I know it is a gatefold. I'm hoping for lyrics. Knowing Melvins, they're a weird band. They probably did something crazy and put I don't know. Maybe there's going to be rice paper when I open it or something. But I have a feeling it's going to be something weird and artistic, and probably with no lyrics or liner notes or any other helpful information. All right, and there's no hype sticker, as you could see. All right. And I guess I don't have too much to say about it because I am relatively new to this. I've listened to this a few times over the last couple of years since I downloaded it. All right, let's see. You can see first what the gatefold is. Does it suck? Is it? It's probably a stupid picture, right? I have no idea. I really have no idea. It's not. Oh, I like it. Pussy, ducky, piggy, pengy, sealy. All right, I like it. Now now Kurt Cobain is credited with guitar in here. So let me read this. So King Buzzo is credited with guitars, bass, and vocals. Dale Crover is drums, bass, and vocals. So the girl, whose name is still undetermined, did not. I thought I remember reading somewhere that she played but wasn't credited, or didn't play or was credited, one or the other. So this says Kurt Cobain guitar, Billy Anderson bass, I don't know who that is. Bill Bartell bass and lead guitar, don't know who he is. There it is, Lorax bass. This is interesting. So it's got the Buzzo and then Dale listed here in big letters. I guess those are Melvins members, and then these other four are just credited. So let me see what it looks like inside. Very disappointing that it's just no lyrics, nothing like that, and it is black, I think. Yeah, it is just standard black. There you go. It's very thick. It must be 180 grams. And you know what? Now that I realize it, I'm not surprised that there's no lyrics, because when I listen to Melvins, I've gone to look up the lyrics, especially for the first song, Hooch, which I'll talk about. There just seem, every lyric side has kind of different lyrics, which I assume means that they were interpreted by listeners and people contribute the lyrics as opposed to that were taken directly from the album. Same with, I mentioned earlier, Boris on Bullhead. I've seen a couple of alternate lyrics for that song. So maybe Melvins don't really publish lyrics. All right, so let me put this down. So I'll put this over here. So the first song is Hooch. Now, Hooch I love, despite the fact that I don't know what he's saying, and it's just nonsense. That's a slow, heavy, driving, kind of rhythmic. This is what I like about Melvins, is this kind of music. It's this kind of music. It's for me a perfect Melvins song. Keep in mind that I am a Melvins poser, so if I say it's a perfect Melvins song, I don't really know what I'm talking about. And it's got a really weird, and I guess this is another thing that Melvins are known for. It's very, very, I guess the time signature, it's very, very herky-jerky. It doesn't go where you think it's going to go. They have these kind of weird things. It's kind of, I can't even explain it, but I love everything about Hooch, except for I don't know what he's saying in the lyrics. Next is Night Go. This is another one it's just got this pounding, driving riff, propelling it through the whole song, and drums too. Kind of, I think Melvins, I don't know if Dale plays on, I don't know if he plays on all 27 Melvins albums, but he seems to play very sparsely. A lot of kick drum and toms, not a lot of cymbals. And again, I'm a Melvins poser, so keep that in mind. Next is Lizzie. This one, when I've heard this, it always reminds me of, well, the song I'm about to mention, I guess, obviously came later. This album came out in '93. The song that I'm talking about that is reminiscent of Lizzie came out in 94, 95, 96, which is Pretty Penny by Stone Temple Pilots. I haven't done a Stone Temple Pilots album. Maybe that should change. This intro of Lizzie really reminded me of Pretty Penny, even though Pretty Penny came later. I heard that many years, even decades before I heard Lizzie. The Melvins version, as you might expect, not version, I shouldn't say that, but the Melvins intro of Lizzie is slower than, how can I put this? Pretty Penny sounds like a sped up version of the intro of Lizzie by Melvins on the Houdini album. And it kind of alternates between these, quiet guitar and vocal, and then the heavy guitar and vocal. And also I think it almost sounds like it could have been a Nirvana song. Not a particular song like Pretty Penny, but just has a general Nirvana feel, I think. Next is Going Blind. Hey, it's a Kiss cover. I would bet anything Mike Pratt can't stand this song. I don't know if I ever heard this back in the day or at any time, but if I did, I think I probably would not have liked it, and maybe that's why I think that Mike Pratt doesn't like it. I kind of have this tendency to think that however I feel, good or bad, that's how other people should also feel. But I would bet anything Mike Pratt, if he's heard it, and Mike, if you haven't, please go check out Going Blind by Melvins. I like a lot. It's very slow, as you would expect from Melvins, and it's not. I mean, it's a slow song to begin with. It almost bears kind of little resemblance to Kiss, although it is just the same song, just slower. I like a lot. I think it's a great cover. Next is Honey Bucket. Now I remember this as a song title from the 90s, I guess. I don't remember anything, and I don't know if I ever heard it at some point. I think there was a video for it. When I've heard this song in recent years, it sounded like it was a brand new song. Well, to me, brand new, but maybe I heard it at some point in the 90s. But I like this song a lot. Speaking of sounding like this, it's kind of thrashy, riffy. It's Helmet-ish, I think, or Helmet adjacent. Two things come to mind. This sounds like it could have been a Helmet song, and also sounds like, a little bit more specifically, Nirvana. Sounds like Negative Creep. That's what I think. That's it. Next is Hag Me. This is 7 minutes and 7 seconds of slow, heavy. This is how I want Melvins to be. As a Melvins poser, I wish every song that they did was like Hag Me and Boris and really slow and heavier. And the last minute or two of the song is even slower and heavier than the rest of the song, which is already slow and heavy. Love that song, Hag Me. Next is Set Me Straight. This is the opposite. This is a more melodic, commercial Melvin song. It's got some backing vocals to it, as far as I could tell. The only song on this record that had some backing vocals. It sounds like really, really heavy pop, and also a little bit reminiscent again of Nirvana. Not a specific song, but I thought, no, this, I could see Nirvana doing a cover of this song. Next is Sky Pup. This one I didn't really like this one too much. Kind of a weird song. It doesn't sound like Melvins. Kind of a weird vocal on that one. That one doesn't really do anything for me. Unlike the next one, which is called Joan of Arc, this one is slow, riffy, heavy. I love it. This is like, doesn't sound like, but put in the same category as Hag Me and Lizzie. Oh, not Lizzie so much. What was the other one? Yeah, I guess Hag Me. Oh, and Boris again. It's just slow and heavy. Love it. Very riffy. Next is Teat. The song was okay. It sounds like what you expect a Melvin song to sound like. It's fine. Didn't really stand out to me, but I liked it. Next is Copace. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Copace. I thought this one has kind of some real new wave of British heavy metal riffing. I like this song. Another one that's a little bit different from what you might expect, or what I would expect as a Melvins poser from Melvins. A couple more here. The next one is called Pearl Bomb. Weird song. I remember when I first heard this song, and maybe first several times I heard this song, it's got this weird intro that sounds like it's like a machine stuck or tuk 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 like that. And I thought something was wrong. I thought maybe I downloaded a bad version of her song, but it's just the Melvins being Melvins. They're a very weird band, and didn't really care too much about Pearl Bomb. Now, two songs left, kind of one or two songs left. The album, what does this album end with? Okay, it goes Pearl Bomb and then Rocket Reducer number 62. The version that I downloaded a couple of years ago has a song called Spread Eagle Beagle. which the record does not have it. It goes from Pearl Bomb to Rocket Reducer 62. But I do have on my digital version I downloaded Spread Eagle Beagle, the stupidest song I've ever heard. Really, really, it's a dumb song. It's like 10, how long did I write it down? 10 minutes and 14 seconds. And it's just, again, it's Melvins. You know, they're a little bit strange. They like to, I guess, kind of troll people a little bit. This is 10 minutes and 14 seconds of just some weird percussion. It's not even drums. It's just like a percussive thing. 10 minutes and 14 seconds of that. It goes nowhere, and it's long, and it's unnecessary. And I'm sure there's some Melvins fan out there who swears that this is the greatest Melvins song ever recorded. I think it's one of the stupidest songs I've ever heard, and a gigantic, enormous waste of time. Unlike what is, and by the way, I guess that is only on some versions. I don't know if I don't know how it was, but maybe it was just on the CD only. Maybe on the records they didn't add Spread Eagle Beagle, but mine doesn't have it. Now the last one here is it the last one? Yes, it is. Rock Reducer number 62. This is a cover of an MC5 song. MC5, I know they're legendary and everything and blah 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 and Kick Out the Jams. Yeah, I know that song. Everybody knows that song. But one of these bands that I feel is kind of people are real posers about MC5. Everybody says how great they are. And maybe I'm just saying this because I don't know anything about them. But I feel like people don't really know MC5. And I know less about MC5 than I know about Melvins. I'm not going to buy an MC5 shirt. But the song's incredible. I love this song. It sounds... it's very, very fast, up-tempo, kind of punky. It doesn't really sound like the slow Melvins, but it sounds like, I think the Melvins put their stamp on it, is what I'm trying to say. I love it. Very, very good cover. So that's all. I made my way through my first Melvins album. And I don't know if I'm going to buy any more Melvins records. No, almost definitely not. It's too expensive to keep buying records. But I will download some more of their music for free, and I have 27 albums worth, backed up on me. Oh. But no, I really, really like Melvins. I really missed the boat. So I'm happy that I'm slowly and maybe not so surely getting into them. Anyway, this is by Melvins, only Melvins, no article, and it's called Houdini.